Okay, in theory, it should be rolling. Speak up, can't hear you. Okay, do you have audio? In theory, you should be able to hear me through the speakers. Okay. Let's see, music. Let's see. Is there music coming through? Okay, I'll try to fix that. Okay, can you hear it now? How does it sound compared to my voice? Like, is it too loud or is it too quiet? Okay. Better? Okay. And in theory, it shouldn't start quite yet, so I'll just be hanging around for a while. Okay, back in a second. Camera, focus again. Not just because I left. Okay. There we go. Hero was helping me in the other room, making sure all our levels and stuff were right. Oops. I don't know if anyone can actually see this right now, since technically it hasn't started yet, and I can't really tell what's going on. But that's okay. I do know that we're on a fairly massive delay, because I can hear myself in the next room. Okay, well, we just got to wait another 8 minutes before I officially start. Okay, there we go. We should be officially streaming. Well then. Hey there, Jester here, and we are live streaming from, well, the office rather than the dungeon, since the office has a more stable Wi-Fi connection. So this is our first attempt at a live stream. We are just using the YouTube studio, so things might be a little janky, but well, we never really know what we're doing. Anyway, today I will be showing you how to make one of these little blob plushies for yourselves. There is a downloadable pattern down in the description, but I will just be making one of the basic clowns like Marcel. Now, music's too loud for me. I'll just turn that down a little. There we go. Probably not as hearable by you now, but it's very distracting for me. I'll turn it up later when I'm more focused on sewing. So, yes, the reason I'm doing this is because, well, I have sometimes thought about, well, I could sell these little plushies, but fact is, while they do not take very much, they don't cost much in terms of materials. They're just a little bit of felt and some trim and some buttons. But the amount of time that they take to sew would make them, well, I don't think anyone would want to be spending, $60 or $70 for one of these. But they do take a while to make. The reason that they're this size is very specifically they were in fact made to fit in my pocket. So this is a design that I came up with myself. I am not much of a fiber artist, and I'm especially no good at being a 3D fiber artist. So it took a few attempts to do it. Just a second. This is Corn Kernel. He's not the first blob plushie I made, but he is the first, one that properly worked. And, well, it's called Corn Kernel because that's what he looks like. He just lives in the office as, a reminder of since it's winter, it's a bit cold in here, so I've got the extra shirt on. Well, I do have a lot of these little plushies now. So, of course, this is Marcel. She likes to cause a bit of trouble, and she likes to stuff herself into small places. She's about the, what I consider a very basic, my basic clown design. You got the little body with the arms, little feet, the frilly collar, and the little hat. And this is the kind of toy that I will be making today. Let's see. The first, serious one I made after corn kernel was Mothman. Now this is the upgraded Mothman, the original Mothman. The wings weren't quite as nice. She didn't have the, fuzzy, neck ruff. This is the new Mothman. And I suppose it's not super easy to see because she's black. And black doesn't show up very well on camera. But it's 3 layers of feathers. And then it's just stitched along the top here. And then attached on the back. And that's how the wings are made. Okay. And then there's the doctor's assistant, Dr. Tiny. He was the one we made after. He was the one I made after I made Mothman. Marcel is actually the 3rd. But yes, he's different in that instead of having buttons for eyes, it's just his mask. And the mask is actually in 3 parts. There's, each half. And then there's a little bit at the bottom here, which of course is getting washed out by the lamp. But there's a 3rd little bit down there to make it 3D. And it's got some stuffing in it, so it holds its shape. And he's got feet, but like all the ones with cloaks, he hasn't got arms. And then there's Ira. I don't remember how I made his hat, so I don't think we're ever going to have another hat like that again. But again, he's sort of a mix between Marcel and Dr. Tiny. So he's a clown, but he's got a cloak, no arms. And then there's Princess Posy. It was the first one to really break the color mold, because usually all the other, blob assistants are the magnum opus colors, red, yellow, black, and white. But I really wanted to use this lace that I've had for, probably 20 years now. So I made a little dress out of that. And then, since that's a cloak, no arms. Yes, in case you didn't know, she's green underneath. She's got a little green bodysuit on. And she's got her lacy dress. And various beads to make up her necklace and tiara. Now, the texture of her hair is different from the others. This is yarn, but I unraveled it. And I think it's only held shape, really, because the yarn was 20, 30 years old. So it's had a lot of time to hold its shape. A newer yarn probably wouldn't do that. And, I don't know how long, her curls are going to last. But, if her hair ever goes flat, I can always just take off her hair and give her a new haircut. But I hope that doesn't happen for a while because she is very soft. And then I make these little guys for fun, or whenever my wrist hurts from computer or drawing. Who else have I got? There's Charlie, another basic clown. I've got him down as, I think he's Marcel's cousin or nephew or little brother, who knows. But to try to make him look a little younger, I gave him the smaller nose and big eyes, fairly wide spaced. He is actually the same size as all the other ones, but, little details make him look a little younger. And there's the Mask of the Red Death, who is, he is actually made of, vintage felt for the most part. His mask and his cape was in an old stash of the gardeners, so this is again, 20, 30 years old. But the bright red was, modern felt. I wanted to use the bright red to kind of give him sort of glowing eyes. And he has a little loop on his cloak so that he can hold his scythe, which is a wooden dowel with a skull bead on top, and the scythe part is just cardstock that I folded around. So this is actually 2 layers glued together. And then Pumpkin, another basic clown. But then she's got slightly different detailing. She's got her witch hat. So instead of the usual frill around there, she's got a proper brim. So she looks like a witch. And to make her look more like a pumpkin, she's got these little lines embroidered along her little bodysuit to make her look more pumpkin-y. And then her hair is also yarn, but it's this sort of, woolly yarn. But yeah, I found that at the dollar store, and I figured it would make great, textured hair, and it does. Let's see. And then there's Piper. I wanted to try making a pied outfit. So it's got the 2 colors, like, medieval Jester paintings. But he is otherwise a fairly basic clown. I'm not super thrilled with his hair because this pink I have always seems to come out, wavy. And then the blue is actually a little thicker than it. You probably can't really tell from there, but I liked the way the colors looked. So he's got a second ball on his hat just to make him a little different. And I tried giving him bangs, but not sure how great that ended up. But anyway, that's Piper. And then there's Sunflower. Again, a very, basic clown, but with a different hat. I thought she needed a little, sun hat for gardening. And then it's hard to tell, but she's also got sort of flower, like the sunflower petal face makeup. Yes. Especially she won't be coming around until spring or so, and her and Princess Posy can do segments about plants. Then I've got Swamp Grandma. She has webbed feet. Because I had this, again, very interesting yarn. It's sort of a, I don't think it's not actually gray. It's blue with some yellow mixed in. So it kind of ends up being a gray because the two colors kind of cancel each other out. And then I gave her a set of tulle charms just to make her, again, a little different. And then there's Sheriff Rusty, who, well, I ended up making a cowboy solely because I found these little buttons and I thought they looked like, cowboy sheriff stars. And unlike the others, I made his body out of denim just to be a little different, but it didn't quite turn out because it's a thinner material than the felt. So when I was sewing it, I accidentally made his head a little too narrow. So he's kind of got, a weird shaped head, but then he's got his hair that covers it up so he doesn't look quite so strange. His hat, I'm not sure how it turned out this good. It looked not nearly as good before I put it on him, but I think the way it's tacked on at the front and the back kind of pulled everything down a bit to give it the proper cowboy hat shape. And then there's Prince Iver. I don't know, I wanted a little snow guy. And they didn't end up being as obvious as I wanted, but he's got these little blue flowers, these blue flower buttons, but when I put them on him, they ended up being a lot more transparent than I wanted them to be. But, well, no one's perfect. Okay, so let's start actually sewing a thing. I'm going to be using all lighter colors for this so that it shows up on camera a little better. So I've got some thick pink for the hair. That aside for now. Okay, so I'm going to be making the body this sort of lavender color because I have a lot of it. I keep thinking, oh, I don't have that color. And then I buy 2 more sheets and now I've got like 6 sheets of it. I'm going to be using white for the face. And then I've got this dark purple to put some, just for some, for the detailing, like for the eye makeup. And I've got some, trim to make all the trim. I've got a pom-pom for the nose and one for the tip of the hat. I'm going to give them, light blue button eyes. And then I've got another little purple button for decoration. Okay, so I need to move my camera now so that I can show the my work surface. So if you're motion sick, close your eyes for a second. Okay. Come on. And okay, so now you can see my work surface. And this is what you will print out if you download the link in the description. And I'll be showing you, I've already got pieces cut out, but I'll be using this piece and the arms and the feet and the hat. Well, actually mine are getting pretty ratty, so as long as I'm here, I'll show you how to do this. I'm going to need that. I'm going to need the arm and the foot. There's the foot. And I'm also going to need the hat. All right. Stay. Don't need the rest of that. Fortunately, I only need the board here while I'm cutting things out. Once I start sewing, I can move it. Don't need that. All right, I'm going to start by cutting out my light colored pieces. First thing I need is my body. And you don't just cut out, you know, two like that. You want to fold it. Okay, if I was making, you know, something that was all one color, like Mothman or, you know, an animal or something, I would just cut out this whole thing. But since this is going to be an outfit and not, you know, the whole body, I would bring this down to about where I want, you know, the collar of the outfit to be. So maybe about there. So I'm going to pull this down just a little more. Is that enough? I think so. Okay. So I like to pin my felt so that it stays the right shape. And then I need to pin my pattern down. And then I'm going to cut this out. Okay. Now I'm going to unpin my pattern. And I'm going to cut across here. There we go. So that's the bodysuit. And now I'm going to need some feet. And I'm going to need two of these. So I'm going to fold this over. And then I'm going to pin it. Just going to take that off. Meow. I've been joined by a Mac somewhere behind me. But I'm busy right now. I'll show them to you later. Meow. Okay, if the pin is in the way, we'll just move it back a little bit. There we go. And now I have 2 feet. And for the arms, I need 4 of these, but I'm not going to stack my felt, 4 thick. That's just going to be very hard to cut. So I'm just going to do these 2 at a time. Will that fit in there? Tilt it a little bit, yes. Again, I need a pin. Of course, I could make the arms and feet different colors, but I tend to give the clowns just a single colored outfit. So there's one arm, and I'm just going to leave the pin in there. And then I'm going to need another 2 arms. That's not going to fit in there. So just not being too worried about the efficiency of my felt here because I have so much of this color. And felt is inexpensive, so I'm not too worried about being a little wasteful, but I do keep the bigger scraps so that I can use them for other things. Okay. There is my second arm. And now I need to make the hat. Okay, it'll fit in there. That's good. There we go. And later that will curl around to be a little clown hat, but for now, it's just that. Okay, so that is my lavender pieces dealt with. Oh, back on that stack. Okay, it should be it for this shade of purple. So I will put that aside. Okay, now I want the white to make the face. So I want my body pattern again. But I'm going to measure it from this. So again, I want a folded over, but I want so in total, I want the purple plus the white to make up the same size as my body pattern, but I want it to overlap a bit so I can sew it. So I think there is about right for what I want. Okay. Again, I want to stick my... Oops. I want to pin my felt so that it will, so that both my pieces will be the same size. I really should have done this on the other side. Just trying to get the, I'll just pull this down here. There we go. For some reason, this white felt is much thicker and plusher than my purple felt, and I'm pretty sure I got them at the same place, so who knows? All right. Okay. Take those out. Got my body bit there. We're going